All right, another video here by the Shibuya Republic, Vancouver. Doesn't really roll off my tongue as well as Tokyo Real Estate Man, but I still am the Tokyo Real Estate Man, and I am here in Vancouver. And my kids are going to school here, and I'm an early riser. I wake up every day at 5 a.m. and I like to just get out of my bike and go to the gym. I got a really great. I'm kind of like a strength. I got a combination between sort of yoga and strength training. I got like some really great exercise routines, and I really love to get at it. And I'm one of the people who likes to train, six, 7 days a week. I love the medicine ball, and I love to do balance stuff. But yeah, cut to the chase of what this video is about is just about like the Vancouver YouTube real estate channel scene. And if you're into real estate or you're into investing like I have been like all my life, even from like a young age, I've always been into investing. And so I've always sort of taken to the Vancouver real estate YouTube scene. And the king of the Vancouver real estate vlog scene or vlog scene is Owen Bigland. And yeah, this is now that I'm here in Vancouver, I've kind of wanted to do an evaluation of his videos, because like I've probably watched every video that he's ever done, like from the inception of his channel. And I never really lived in the English world for 30 years, so I don't really watch any sort of mainstream anything. All I would watch would be YouTube or the podcast world. Yeah. And what's my evaluation of Owen Bigland? I think the guy is pretty well hit it out of the park at all the way. And like I can understand, like, because this Vancouver real estate thing is just so crazy, Tom. It's so expensive, and like the market has just skyrocketed. Oh, go over there. There's people going to do their cold plunge over there. Oh, I love it. Yeah, they're going in right there. They're going in right there. He's pretty well. Like I can understand. Like I really understand. I'm an investor that doesn't like see things one way. I try to look at things in like multifaceted ways, and but Owen Bigland, he doesn't see things like that. He really is like, like you can tell, like you watch his content when he was young, he was a bodybuilder, and then you could see that he always like set everything toward his goal. He's such the kind of personality he is, and he set everything toward that one goal, and he goes after it and he does it. And that's really reflect, like you can see it in his psychology, even with his dedication to his YouTube channel and his blogs, like every twice a week. He's really consistent. So he sets his mind to like something, and he doesn't, he just goes toward his goal. And that's what you see in his analysis. Okay, he sees everything from the sometimes he does have some empathy for some of the other problems, but even those problems, he sees the solutions through the ownership and self-responsibility way of thinking. And I kind of, I'm about like an 80% in agreement with him about almost everything he says, but I still am always like, I'm always like a person, like if a bear market was to hit, like I was always hoping a little crash would come to something, in that it speaks opportunity, or it would maybe speak some like social fairness, because maybe it is because I lived as an immigrant for like 30 years as as a serious immigrant. Like very few white people live in Tokyo, right? And, so I don't mind a little, like always hoping for a little social fairness, but uh, that that hasn't been the case. We keep sort of losing and losing. So yeah, Owen Bigland and his analysis have been like pretty spot on, I think, uh, throughout all my years of watching his. Like, I can understand why people like get pissed off at his message and everything like that, but he stayed on point. And if you actually followed his advice, like from the beginning, uh, you'd really be in a really good position. And actually, his way of doing things is really similar to mine. I end up more in the hustler saver camp, I think, than him. But I don't know. Maybe he's a super saver. He just doesn't put it out. He says that the whole is that what's called the fire movement. Like I was kind of like I before fire was happening. I was kind of like doing fire like anyway, but not too. I never like a drastic fire guy, but like I always wanted like freedom and stuff like that. So I'm more in the fire hustler camp, which is and I don't think he like his analysis is in his way of looking at the real estate market. If you don't get in, you're gonna be pushed out, and it just keeps getting harder and harder to get in. It's even hard for people to run away. Like if you wanted to invest in like say Japanese real estate, like there's lots of cheap places, but like how are you gonna once you have your because I have a friend right now, a good friend, and he was married to a Japanese girl, and then they split up and divorced, and like he really likes Japan, and he's trying to get back into Japan and trying to find himself like a business visa, but it is proving to be very difficult. So unless you have a lot of fire or like some financial independence, or like if you can't really be a huge fluent Japanese speaker, the countryside of Japan is a really difficult place to live in because nobody speaks any English. But if you speak like a really good Japanese, the countryside Japan would be a really fun place to live. So in some ways, like there's like escape valves that you think there you could go to Japan and then buy a cheap house, not in central Tokyo. That's just as expensive as Vancouver, but like in an outlying area, there are cheap houses and stuff like that. But you could be up against it. It's not hard as you think. So in a way, the Owen big land analysis is a really good one because it tells you that you've got to force yourself somehow into the market, and he could piss you off because he's really successful, and it's like hard for us not to like it's in our personality. We have the dark Jungian like shadow in us, so when we see that, like we feel like it's really that signal, that jealousy signal, is really a wake-up call inside your body, and it's trying to wake you up and try to push your adrenaline uh, to go toward your goals, just as Owen Bigland is. So yeah, I think the guy is basically hit it out of the park. Like him or not, he'll always give you good solid advice. Even when he gives good career advice, it's always solid. He tells you to get a career like him, which is to be involved with high-end sales, which is like if you're going to put in your time to get good at your job, you might as well get paid well for it. And yeah, he gives good advice. He gives great advice. His stock advice is great, which is go out, just don't try to hit it out of the park. Like if you hit it out of the park, do it with a really small percentage of your portfolio, and just play for the income. And if you play for income and you just dollar cost averaging in, right? You don't have to play for price, because one thing he always tells you is like you don't want to face the heavy capital gains tax. Okay, you want to use the Canadian real estate as your one big exemption, tax exemptions that Canadians have, right? And then you want to take other income and turn it into like income, like source dividends for your future. Really solid advice, like on every front. The guy hits it out of the park. So like him or not, Owen Bigland always gives you the truth. Thank you very much. Coming here from Chitsalano Beach in Vancouver, Tokyo, real estate man, evaluating the man, Owen Bigland. Bye bye.